January the 6th, 2017. Guys, you're looking at the USGS earthquake map. Things are going on here that we need to look at. A couple things that are going on around the planet that we need to pay attention to. But here we've got a 5.7. This is 194 kilometers west-southwest of Port Hardy, Canada. What we're talking about is the Cascadia fault zone. This has been going on all day, but now we've had the strongest of the quakes in this area. Guys, if this drops, the Cascadia fault zone covers over 700 miles of the west coast and all the way up to the main highway that runs up and down this coast. It will be total devastation. So let's pay attention to it. We are dealing with a very large coronal hole on the sun. Let's look at the current solar wind speed. Let's just take a quick look at space weather. Solar wind 7.18.4 kilometers per second. As you realize how fast that is. Now the density is not that impressive because it's like injecting smoke again into a wind machine. The higher the wind, the less smoke. Same thing with proton density. If that ever changes and we had wind speed at this particular speed with protons at very high density, we would be in trouble indeed. Just a quick look at the ACE satellite information. And the top is your density. That's your protons per centimeter cubed. Guys, but look, radial speed right here. 700 plus in the last few images. Again, another spike. And the temperature is up also. One other thing that I want to point out about this. This is called the EPAM protons, again, part of the ACE satellite system. And you can see that we're definitely getting not only a solar wind speed increase with temperature, but a proton burst. And what does that do? Remember the last video I did about this where we saw where energy from the solar stream is pulled into the cusp of the Earth's magnetic field, transferred into the core of the Earth, and we see increased volcanoes. As that pressure builds, we see increased earthquakes. And that's what we're looking at now. We've been talking about this particular coronal hole that's coming around the sun on the SDO satellites. Guys, these are high wind speeds. You're nearing 2 million miles per hour. Consider that force. And it's things like that that stripped away the atmosphere from Mars. We got to pay attention to this. Not only this, but we have to pay attention to what's going on in this world. In a video last night called Code Red, I talked about them trying to stop the inauguration of Donald Trump. Today, Jay Johnson came out, guys, and said that now the election process is part of national security, a new document. We must control this also because of the Russian influence. And I read the document that came out. I saw Trump's response. He said there was nothing in it that proved anything to do with election hacking. And I read the document itself that came out, and there was nothing. It was complete mumbo-jumbo with pure speculation. Let me show you one of the images that they used to prove that Russia, along with RT, Russia Times, had influenced the election. It is so immaturish that it's pathetic. Now, in the official congressional FBI, CIA top security releases that were supplied to Donald Trump, Congress, President Obama, this was one of the few images in it. This is the accusation. And it's basically a cartoon put up by Russian Times during the election. Notice the timestamp, November 13th, showing Obama's a devil. This is their proof that Russia hacked us. Can you believe it? Now, Jay Johnson has put this as a national security incident, and he has titled all election processes now part of national security. Everything from the voting booths to the counting and the administration going from state to federal levels. What are they planning? We've been watching it, guys. We know that they think they cannot afford to lose the NWO. We're watching it. It's a heads up. Be safe.